Governor, I'm delighted to see you here. I think the good people of Iowa learned about the Music Man some years ago, and we know the Flim Flam Man when we see him, so let's eliminate that guy right now.
We'll talk about him
Our
later.
Democratic brethren sent us a first-term senator, and we know how that worked out. We have four great Republican governors who've changed the lives of millions of people in their states. They're all great men. Why you over the rest?
Sure. First of all, I want to agree with you that my brother governors in this race are all good guys. I like Jeb Bush a lot. I like John Kasich, and I like Mike Huckabee. They're all good guys, and they all were good governors. John still is a good governor in Ohio. Here's the biggest difference. I'm the only one who's operated in a blue state with a Democratic legislature. And what that means is I've had to fight every minute of every day to get anything that I wanted done. I would give my left arm to have Craig Paulson be Speaker of the New Jersey Assembly for 1 week. Man, would we get stuff done. We wouldn't sleep. But every day of every month of every year that I've been governor, I've had a Democratic legislature. So what's that forced me to learn how to do? Stand up for principle and get things done at the same time. When you run with a Republican legislature, you don't have to worry about that. You agree on 99% of the things. You send stuff down the hall, they rubber stamp it, they send it back, you sign it, away we go. Will you fight every once in a while? Every once in a while. But not on anything of huge consequence. It's on the details. When I'm fighting with my Democratic legislature, it is on matters of huge consequence. Why does that better prepare me for Washington, D.C.? Well, you tell me. Which one do you think Washington's going to be more like? More like, as John calls it, sunshine and light in Ohio? Or is it going to be fire and brimstone? It's going to be fire and brimstone. I don't care who's there. That's what they're used to doing. And they need somebody down there who knows how to fight and knows how to win. And I had to do that now for 6 years as governor of New Jersey, in a state that has 750,000 more Democrats than Republicans, in a state that, before I got elected in 2009, hadn't elected a Republican to anything statewide in 12 years, and in a state that still hasn't elected a Republican to the United States Senate in 43 years. The longest streak of any state in America not to elect a Republican to the U.S. Senate. In that circumstance, in 2009, I'm the former federal prosecutor who runs for governor against an incumbent Democrat who's the former CEO of Goldman Sachs and spends $33 million of his own money against me. I get to spend $11 million. He outspends me 3-1, and I beat him by 4.5 points. And after I win, all the Democrats say, well, that's not because they liked Christie, it's because they hated Corzine. And he'll be here for 4 years, and then we'll get rid of him, and that'll be the end of that. And then what happened 4 years later? Well, 3 years later, Barack Obama was reelected President of the United States, and he won 58% of the vote in New Jersey. The next year after that, I'm running for reelection, and I'm running against a female candidate who's been a state senator for 18 years. Everybody knows her. And what happens in that election? I get reelected with 61% of the vote, 51% of the Hispanic vote, 22% of the African-American vote, up from 9% 4 years earlier. And against a female opponent, I get 57% of the female vote. The difference between me and Kasich and Bush and Huckabee is not only that I've governed successfully in a blue state, which is going to look much more like Washington, D.C. than any of the red state experiences have, but also because I've won in the toughest place you can run as a conservative Republican. It's us in California. I mean, that's it. George Pataki was a 3-term governor in New York, for goodness sakes. Al D'Amato was a Republican senator from New York for 3 terms. Don't talk to me about New York. New Jersey and California are the bluest states in the country. And you heard Senator Grassley say it. You know, we won in as tough a place as there is to win. And the reason that's important is, before you get to think about what kind of president I'm going to be, I got to beat Hillary Clinton. And if you're not used to that type of battle, where you get outspent 3-1, and you're getting your head handed to you every day, and you got to get up out of bed, get dressed, and keep putting one foot in front of the other, and articulate a clear, consistent, conservative vision to the American people. If you haven't done that before, man, this is not the race for on-the-job training. The Clintons are going to roll out every truck they can find full of mud, and they're going to dump it. This is her last chance, and his last chance to get back in public housing. And they are not going to stop anytime soon, everybody. You got to have somebody who's tested and ready standing on that stage in September. And with great respect to brothers Bush, Kasich, and Huckabee, I'm just better prepared to deal with that.